大家好，你们经常听到一个词叫债务陷阱。西方媒体说中国在利用非洲，中国说自己在帮助非洲，但是非洲人自己怎么看？我去过尼日利亚、塞内加尔还有加纳，所以我亲眼看过、亲耳听过。今天我想把两边的观点都给你们讲一下，让你们自己判断。Over the past 2 decades, China has lent several African countries hundreds of billions of dollars to build infrastructure, ports, railways, roads, industrial parks, and more. These are things that several African countries really need. Africa requires anywhere from $130 to $170 billion in infrastructure investment every single year, and the gap isn't being filled by anyone else. From China's perspective, this is a partnership and the results to prove that. In Nigeria, they helped to build the Lekki Free Trade Zone. In Ethiopia, they built the Hawassa Industrial Park as well as several other industrial parks. Across the continent, Chinese enterprises have employed millions of African workers. It's estimated that 2/3 of these companies provide skills training for local employees. The biggest part of this aid and biggest differentiator between Western aid is that China doesn't demand any political changes or interfere politically. China pushes back on the debt trap narrative, which data actually supports. China-Africa bilateral debt only accounts for 11% of Africa's foreign debt. Institutions like the World Bank and IMF hold significantly more debt in Africa than China does. When I traveled throughout Africa, I found that attitudes towards China genuinely vary from person to person. No matter who I talked to, they all said that China actually came and built something tangible, but there are some concerns. While China does hire locally, it tends to be for physical labor positions. For the higher positions, Chinese companies tend to bring in their own workers instead of hiring locally. The African country gets the infrastructure, but economic benefits don't circulate around the local economy. What they want is more. More local hiring, more skills transfer, more African ownership of the process. They don't want to trade from one form of dependence to another. So where does this leave us? China has built what nobody else would, but China's also doing this for China's benefit. African people see the results on the ground, but they also see the gaps. They want more agency in the process. 所以所谓的债务陷阱是不是真的？其实没那么简单。但是非洲的未来应该由非洲人自己决定，不是中国，不是美国，也不是别的西方国家，是非洲自己。